Dear guests, as the Executive Director of Macedonia 2025, the organizer of this event, I would like to extend a kind welcome at this Macedonia Economic Summit. This is the third summit that we are organizing here in Macedonia, and this would not come true unless we had the committed board members to help us and support us. With their help, we were able to put a fantastic agenda of more than 40 speakers coming from more than 20 countries. And this event had slowly become the largest learning platform in the region for sharing knowledge, sharing know-how with the local communities. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for helping us achieve this vision for Macedonia in 2025. Here with us this morning in the opening session, we have two of our committed board members, Mr. Zoran Martinovski, who will give the welcome address, and Mr. Zafirovski, who is our co-founder, and he will also give a brief recap of Macedonia 2025's vision by 2025. So I would like to extend a warm welcome to our summit chair, Mr. Zoran Martinovski.
Thank you, Biljana. Почитувани гости, драги приятели, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Macedonian Economic Summit. The interest for this summit has been great from the moment we announced it, and I'm very pleased to see so many people in the audience. I want to thank all the speakers who managed to take time from their busy schedules and come here in Skopje to make this summit possible. I want to thank all the companies and professionals from Macedonia, as well as from other countries, for being part of this summit. Of course, big thank you to all the sponsors for giving us your support. We could not have organized the summit without you. There are more than 30 sponsors here in the room, and too many for me to name them all, but I'll ask all of you to check them in your catalogs, and I'm sure that you'll find good partners for whatever you need. About this summit, this is, as Biljana mentioned, this is our third summit. It started as an idea back in 2011, I believe. We had a board meeting in New York, and then when we were discussing about some practical work that Macedonia 2025 should be doing, we concluded that a platform like this would be an excellent opportunity for sharing knowledge, wisdom, inspiration. So again, we are very happy that we've managed to keep the tradition and to do this third summit. Now, unlike the first two summits that had a special focus on investments, this economic summit has a much wider scope. We will be discussing topics which we believe are of crucial importance, relevance for the entire region. We'll be touching upon some of the most burning issues which are affecting growth and prosperity of the countries from Southeast Europe. We'll have experts that will be covering topics such as leadership, technology, entrepreneurship, culture. Some of these speakers are top-notch. I mean, they are some of the best individuals, professionals. All of them, but some of them are featured to be really top-class professionals in their respective field. We'll have more than 40 speakers coming from all over the world. A good number of the speakers are, I'm very proud to say this, are people who are coming from Macedonia. Both traditional diaspora, but also people who have left Macedonia over the past years, and they're here back with us. And this would be an opportunity again to demonstrate the talent that Macedonia has, and I hope their presence here will raise some ideas of how to mobilize, their expertise in order to contribute for the future development of the country. I would like to stress the importance of your involvement. I invite all of you to get involved as participants. I invite you to really be part of these events, plug in the discussions, take notes, ask questions, talk to each other, and think about what can we do together. Think about some great ideas that could be put into practice. About Macedonia 2025, Mike will be talking more about it, but I just want to say that, again, this is an effort of a couple of individuals. It's a combination of Macedonians from Macedonia, but also Americans from Macedonia, Canadians from Macedonia, Western Europeans from Macedonia. The mission of the organization has never been more, I would say, articulated, and the goals, the main objectives will remain the same, but there is some practical, some real progress made over the past few years, and I would like to invite Mike actually to talk more about some recent accomplishments and our ongoing efforts to contribute to the economic well-being of the country. Thank you very much, and I wish you an enjoyable 2 days here. Thank you.
Good morning, Macedonia. Dobro jutro, Macedonia. I always wanted to say that. But it's good to be back home. A wonderful chance to climb and hike up to the Vodno Mountain, one of my favorite activities. So it's always great to see friends, relatives, and people interested in driving Macedonia forward. I do want to say that I'll be providing an updated strategy for Macedonia 2025. The person who's supposed to be giving this presentation is Robert Arsov, the new chairman for Macedonia 2025. Unfortunately, he got held up in New York. It kills him not to be here today. I love the fact that his father is here today. So I'm presenting this updated strategy on behalf of all of Macedonia 2025 Board of Directors and the great Executive Director and CEO, Biljana Markovic. Zoran, thank you again for hosting this event. This is the third time we've done it. And in many ways, the vision for expanding the original scope for Macedonia 2025 was driven by Zoran and the view of to become more of a think tank-like organization. I'll provide some updates on them in a few minutes. But it's a quick reflection back on the vision for the organization. Started back in the days when Boris Trajkovski was president. He reached out to a few of us to say, can you provide some help and guidance and thoughts? How can we become a more successful country, including not only attracting foreign investment, but what are you seeing that's working well elsewhere? Fast forward 3 years later, at that time, Prime Minister Zafirovski was giving a talk in Toronto. Group approximately this side of Macedonian diaspora in Toronto. And he really was reaching out for advice and help. And one of my favorite people, John Bitov Sr., God bless him, a great Canadian, great global citizen, very patriotic Macedonian. He went to the president, said, Mr. Zafirovski, I have two guys that can help you in your thinking and planning. John Bitov Jr., his son, and I had absolutely no idea they would be volunteered for such a massive undertaking. And if you know John Bitov Sr., if he asks you to do something, very rarely you would say no. And then the two of us recruited Mitchell Kotanovsky. We kicked off the organization back in 2007. And the vision always was to, what can we do without asking anything in return to help build a stronger nation? For us to be proud of, but also very specifically to reduce the significant brain drain that's leaving the country to other parts of the world. Not that we do not like globalization, but we'd love to see many more Macedonians actually stay and prosper here. So there was the original, if you will, vision and who we are, international, non-partisan, not-for-profit organization. It really founded to, quote-unquote, help build a stronger nation. As any board, it's always the objective and opportunity to keep defining what that means. And what we're elevating our platform this year is to become more of a think tank organization. And I've added there conveniently think and do organization. Thinking, planning is good, but without the actual part of doing it is not nearly as satisfying. So what you're going to see in the next few pages, and I'd love to get your feedback in the breakouts, or you can write emails to Biljana, to Zoran, to me, to Robert Arsov, is to come up with a very clear and succinct definition of what MK 2025 will be able to accomplish as a think tank organization. Now, let me give you two examples of what two of the most popular and respected think tanks do in the U.S. And again, a qualifier, we do not aspire to be like them, but what they're so popular is because they have a very clear, they have a very clear definition. The first one is the Brookings Institute, much more of a liberal organization. And if you can read through their mission statement, high quality independent research based on the research to provide innovative, practical recommendations that advance three broad goals. Again, this is American oriented. This is not what MK 2025 wants to be. But they just raised $120 million. They have some of the best and smartest minds in the world working there and trying to inspire businesses, individuals, and the government to act on the best behalf of those three very specific objectives. American democracy, economic and social welfare, a more open, safe, and prosperous and cooperative international system. On the other side is the American Enterprise Institute. Very conservative think tank. They have 1,700 people working there, 700 PhDs, some of the best minds in the world. They truly believe that private enterprise, limited government, individual liberty and responsibility is the key to a prosperous society. And as a result of it, they're able to get a significant amount of funding, best and brightest to do research on the issues and opportunities. What our goal is over the next couple of months to come up with a terminology that's going to be very specific of what MK 2025 will represent for people that truly have a stronger nation at the forefront of their thinking. And again, hoping this stimulates some discussions. We have a board meeting coming up in the next few months, and we're looking forward to come up with a sentence that'll be inspiring and motivating a large part of Macedonians in Macedonia and also diaspora. To move on our strategic objectives, the first three have not changed. One was to promote economic development, and three subcategories: attracting foreign investment, which I chair, support competitiveness of Macedonian companies. Our Vice Chairman, Vera Stavrov, chairs, and entrepreneurship, Chris Pavlovsky. It's great to see many of the foreign investors. I saw Guido, the CEO for Kemet Electronics. But we've done lots of work opening doors, looking for best practices, making sure that the right references are being given to new potential investors. The platform yesterday, there have some high school entrepreneurs presenting their ideas as part of our effort to promote entrepreneurship. I'm usually have been here. 350, 400 people listening to great ideas and people able to stand on their feet, answering in English. It's a very tough questions from the jury. Education program, Zoran Martinovski chairs. We have 250 alums. So a fantastic program with trips to Toronto to visit some of the most innovative companies there, and 250 very proud alums of that program. Just 2 months ago, with an education gala in Columbus, Vera Stavrov did a fantastic job driving the program. President George W. Bush was one of the guests. We raised $1 million, and all that money will go toward taking what we're hoping 1,000 of the best and brightest in Macedonia for 4 different kinds of programs. Do not have time to discuss those here, but we're very excited, and we'll be able to take the educational funds and to really drive the best practices in leadership, in execution, strategy development. The third one provided diaspora the opportunity to strengthen and improve linkages. The activity has been elevated through sessions in Chicago, Columbus, Toronto, and of course in Paris, and more of diaspora coming into Macedonia. The two things that are new is 4 and 5. One is to go beyond simply the economic development, which is obviously critical. Most of us have direct expertise there. To start promoting the ideals of a transparent, democratic, and inclusive society. The better we do in those activities, the better platform for economic development and prosperity. And last, and I'll take a chance to cover this in only 5 minutes, some complicated charts on the surface, but we thought a dashboard of how the country is performing relative to other quote-unquote comparable countries, relative to our recent results, but also the definition of people asking us, what would you envision, what would success look like in 2025? Obviously not for MK 2025 to be driving it, but they have goals that will inspire discussions, action planning for the broader society, government, business, academia, and the citizens. Go to the next page. As I said, any kind of a dashboard, you can report your own progress, but without reporting it relative to quote-unquote comparable countries. And we had feedback from many people. McKinsey & Company did a fantastic job supporting us, thinking through what will be the right dashboard for Macedonia. The former Prime Minister of Georgia, Nika, thank you again for being here. Wonderful discussions, also with representatives from Singapore, from Turkey, many other places. And you may want to see, is Macedonia and Indonesia, how are they comparable? One country is hundreds of millions, we only have 2 million. The combination of status of the current economic situation and the opportunities for progress, the view was that this is probably the best benchmark of countries. Does not have Singapore or Switzerland, much more comparable size to Macedonia, but they're so much more advanced currently than we are, that it would be very inappropriate to include them. And this is the 14 items which we thought represent a well-balanced scorecard or dashboard for a country. If you will, 7 on your left are economic indicators. They're all very familiar to you. As an example, GDP growth for the last 5 years, GDP per capita, unemployment rates, all the way down to percentage of FDI. So we think those are absolutely great benchmarks of is progress being made in the country. What we think is just as important to the non-economic indicators. You can argue this is quality of life, or also another view is this is the enabler of growth. If we as a country do a great job of enablers of growth, then I do believe that all of them, GDP, unemployment results will be improving. Busy page, I want to take a minute to summarize, but this is on our website, where it shows, and I'll take the first one, GDP growth, and we thought not only to show 1 year, we thought it's much more appropriate to be looking at 5-year average. But you can see how we made significant improvements in virtually every category. With that catch, there's a long way to go. So if you take GDP growth, we're at 1.6 growth from 2001 to 2005. From 2010 to 15, 2.2. And out of 34 countries, we're 24th out of 34. So you can see each one of those. I've noted the top 3 places of improvement government spending, which was 30% of GDP was down to 24, so 7 out of 25. Investments, which analyzes how much investment we make into infrastructure. Obviously, the higher the number is, the better. There we were third out of 26. And some of the numbers where there's not all 34, some countries do not report, and that's why some are 34, others is as little as 7. And the last one, ease of doing business. You can see we are at third place, so good progress at all. Those are the 3 best places. Places where we lag, unemployment, we've improved from 37% unemployment in 2005 to down to 28. Nice improvement, but still a number that's too high. And we're last, 26 out of 26. Democratic freedom, we've improved from 3 to 3.5, but still 25 out of 34. And environment and air quality, we've stayed pretty much same, 2005 to 2015, but 30 out of 35th in the world. So I do think this provides an accurate picture of Macedonia overall. Great progress in the last 10 years, great progress in the last 20 years. But boy, if you're going to be a world-class country, there's such a longer way to go. Well, then last page, it's simply, we thought this would be attractive target for what can and should be accomplished in the next 10 years. For people to want to stay here, for people that want to have their kids stay here, for quality of life to be significantly higher. On the previous page, only 5 out of 14 measurements, we were in the top half. And at least what we propose to inspire the thinking is here for virtually all of them will be in the top half. The only exception is unemployment, where we think 12% will be an appropriate target for 2025. But even if we get that low, we'll probably still be only third quartile, not in the top half. But the board asked me to come up with an updated strategy back in December of last year. I told them it's going to take me 6 months, including a dashboard. We had a very robust discussion at the July board meeting. And we thought simply not just to have 12 people in a room, so we went extensively to all the honorary board members, to the junior board. Extensive feedback came back. We had Dan Braga, who works with me, spoke with probably hundreds of people, tried to take as many as 35 indicators. We're hoping to only have 8. At the end, 8 was not sufficient enough to be able to measure the economic and the non-economic. We started with 96 countries to measure. We thought 34 is the appropriate level. So this is an attempt to answer the question, what is your vision? What is your definition of a stronger Macedonia? Not a single party, not a single organization, or government, business, or university will be able to accomplish this kind of a progress. And we're really hoping to be a part of the communication, whether that's events like the Economic Summit, which Zoran has been championing so well, additional research papers which we're preparing, independent, with very aggressive views. I'm sure we'll be stepping on some toes. People may be unhappy with some of the recommendations, with some of the implications of the recommendations. But frankly, our job is not to make people happy. We're doing this simply with a simple view of bringing our intelligence, our abilities to contribute, and hopefully many other people to be able to be on the same page of putting a stronger Macedonia as a single driving point for a think tank organization, think and do think organizations like Macedonia 2025. So if you have any ideas or suggestions of what should our wording be for a think tank, by all means, write to Biljana, and we're hoping to have it ready by sometime the January, February timeframe. Thank you for being here. We have 8 great panels, and I'm hoping lots of those recommendations will start moving the needle from the good progress we've had to the level of progress even greater in the last 10 years. Благодарам, and Zoran, back to you. Thank you.